was a movie, and it started now, forget about whatever financial disasters you've had, personal failures, relationship failures. What would the hero of your life's movie do right now?
Hello and welcome to Dad's Dating After a Divorce, the only podcast that helps you to decode, decipher, and translate life in the dating world after divorce. My name is Jude Sandoval. I am the founder of The Divorced Advocate, and my co-host is Dallas Bluth, founder of Black Box Dating. How you doing, Dallas?
Doing fabulous, Jude. How you doing?
I am doing terrific, getting ready for Christmas, my favorite time of the year. So this is Christmas week. So I thought since it is Christmas week and we've kind of hit some really heavy topics, some deep topics over the last few weeks, that we would do something a little bit more light, a little bit more fun. And so what we're going to be talking about today is what I said in the beginning: deciphering, decoding, translating some of the phrases that we see from women on their profiles on dating apps.
Awesome.
So I know that you're not a huge fan of dating apps. I'm not a huge fan of dating apps, but there's a lot of guys that are on the dating apps. I'm still on the dating apps a little bit too. So I think it's and some of this translates into real world talk as well. So what we're gonna do is I've got the top 20. My top 20, because there's a lot of them, dude. I could have done like top 50 because, I don't know. I get on these, I go on these apps, and it's just like, oh my god, just like the same phrases over again. I'm like, boring. Like, okay. Is there any substance in there? And granted, it is a dating app, so you can't go that deep, but like, maybe you can get past these top 20 that we're going to talk about. But anyway, right. I'm going to give my definition of these top 20. Okay. And then you're going to give maybe like the real meaning behind them, because mine is maybe a little bit jaded. That might come across a little bit in some of these, but anyway, I'm just gonna give my flat out opinion of some of these top 20.
Do it,
all right?
Do it, Jude. I am so excited to hear all the screenshotted, profile lines that you've had.
I didn't go that far.
Okay,
I didn't go that far, but I did go far enough to which, I mean, this doesn't surprise you, right? I have notes, right? I have broken them down into the personality phrases, the activity phrases, the expectation phrases, and the subtle, quote unquote, subtle ones. Okay. So those should be the fun, exciting ones that really need deciphering. All right. So let's jump in. First one, number one, classic, fluent in sarcasm. This is my definition. I'm going to be relentlessly mean to you, belittle your interest, and insult your outfit. If you get upset, I'll gaslight you by saying, "Hey, I was just joking. Don't be so sensitive."
Right? Yeah.
Am I wrong, or is there a different definition to that one?
I think you've definitely painted a fairly good picture of the behavior you can expect. I got to say that is one of my biggest turn-offs on a profile is if a woman says I'm fluent in sarcasm. I've come to understand to mean two things. One is we seem to think that not having a filter in this culture is like somehow a mark of pride.
Yeah.
No, guys, it's bad manners. Like it just is. The other thing that I've started to understand when someone says fluent sarcasm is they have a problem with vulnerability and authenticity. Sarcasm is if you're being sarcastic about everything and you have to struggle to get real, and then your default mode is always coming back to sarcasm, you apparently have a problem with just being genuine with somebody. For me, huge turnoff. And I was thinking about this as you were doing it. I'm going to try and throw in a little something that the guys can learn for their own profiles. And I just want to I just want to address the comment. I'm not anti dating apps. Dating apps have a place. They totally work for people. I use them for years. I'm personally just very happy not using them at the moment. May go back to them one day. Who knows? Okay, so guys, do not put something about how sarcastic you are on the profile, because as much as that's a turnoff for you as a dude, is a woman does not want to date a man who's always sarcastic. Instead, a good replacement word is playful. Much better word than sarcastic. All right.
Yeah, I like that. And that doesn't mean that you want to bring, because you talk about all the time, bringing lightness and humor is one of the best ways to do that. That is completely different than sarcasm, right? And that's kind of why I was into sarcasm has is negative in my mind, right? There's not anything uplifting about sarcasm. There's nothing that's positive. There's nothing that's and I didn't even think about the vulnerability thing too. It's usually a defense mechanism for somebody that hasn't quite developed their abilities to understand their emotions and their feelings and then be able to communicate them. If we want to be real about this, that's really what that's saying.
Totally true. The only place that I find sarcasm is fun is when it's in hyperbole. So we're taking something to an extreme, but we're both there. We're both kidding about it, and we're imagining some extreme situation, and we're both laughing. That is sarcastic, but it's hyperbole, and it's a very low form of humor. It's just being silly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That was number one. Number two, I love to laugh. As opposed to not loving to laugh, hyperventilating in sorrow. I mean, this means I have absolutely no hobbies. So your job is to be my personal stand-up comedian, dance monkey dance. All right, that's how I read that.
Okay, so so you read it as men. I'm looking for someone to entertain.
Yeah,
me.
Like the Joe Pesci. What am I?
Gotcha,
what am I funny?
Well, I think what's really behind that statement is I love to laugh. I want to be playful. I don't want to be too serious all the time. I think that's what they're saying. And I think what they're trying to do is filter out, if you're a man that can't laugh, if you're a man that is serious all the time, we're not going to be a good fit. I think that's what she's saying. So advice to the guys on your own profile, put out there, I love to make a woman laugh. I love to laugh myself. I love being playful. Again, these are things that every woman wants to hear.
Yeah, I like the playful and humor. And the other one that I see that goes along with this is there's the prompt sometimes and stuff or make me laugh. That's the one that makes me crazy is make me laugh is more around that dance monkey dance thing, which and I kind of I love to laugh, make me laugh thing. I don't know, they kind of maybe they're different. They kind of fall together at least. Like, because who doesn't like to laugh? I don't
right.
Why say that?
I've been out on dates with women that don't like to laugh. At least seemingly do not like to laugh. I would say make me laugh that's almost like I dare you to that's almost saying I don't like to laugh very easily and show me that you somehow have this magic power to break through my walls and my sternness. And if a woman says make me laugh, that's definitely a turnoff for me. If a woman says I love to laugh, I would think yes. I mean, I would hope you would. I would hope most people do, and I would see it as an invitation to play with her. That's okay, how I see it. So
I love to laugh has a little bit of leeway. Make me laugh, be careful.
I don't like that challenge. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 3. And this one scares me. No drama, or I hate drama.
Okay.
So to me, this reads, I'm the hurricane. I'm the source of all drama in a 50-mile radius. I lack self-awareness to such a degree that I think the chaos that follows me is everyone else's fault. Red flag, or am I being too harsh with that?
Hang on, before I answer this, Jude, do you bring these to dates and do you compare them with women? Because I feel like you would make it so far on dates if you just told them this is your reaction. Boy, wow.
Well, maybe it's why I don't have a lot of dates because I rule these out with these, with my definition. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe this maybe this is gonna help my dating life going forward.
Okay, so here's what I when I read that, I mean, no drama, don't want drama. What I hear is this woman has had a past and she's exhausted. Women don't want to deal with extra drama. My one rule, it is the only rule I have in dating, and that is do not burden the woman.
Yeah.
If a woman says, I don't want drama, she's saying drama has burdened me in the past. That's not what I want going forward. That's what I read in that statement. I also, a little bit like I love to laugh, it's sort of kind of a given for me that, somebody doesn't want drama. Yeah, that's the main thing that I hear with that is we want to be sensitive to it. I don't think it's something that has to be addressed. I don't think it's something that has to be, like spoken to. She's really just saying like, look, I've been drained before. And if you're going to be, if you're going to be confusing, if you're going to bring a bunch of nonsense to the table, like I'm not going to put up with it for very long.
Okay. But by and large, women are typically more so the source of drama. So like a woman putting, I don't want drama, and granted, there's guys out there that, we all know
there
the dramatic
are a lot more
guy.
of them than you think.
Okay. Maybe there are. And maybe there, I don't operate in as many dramatic men circles whatever those might be. So, okay. All right. So that's another one is maybe benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's more of a commentary on her life and her life experiences. Maybe that is her being dramatic, and maybe she is the source of the drama. Maybe she's not. So you kind of got to test that one. That can't be really a red flag. That at least entitles her to a little more investigation into the situation, if you will.
Yeah. And I think also as a guy, I'm listening to this and assuming I'm not going to read too far into it. And I think we have to be careful not to do that with a profile. I hear that phrase and I go, great, me too. I don't want drama either, and I leave it at that. And later on, if there's a bunch of drama, I can bring up playfully. So remember that, I don't want drama thing that you wrote in your profile. So I'm feeling a lot of drama here.
Right. I like
but you bring it up light and playful, not accusatory.
Yeah.
You just kind of bring it up and they're like, oh yeah.
Wait, who doesnn't like drama? Yeah. Good.
Might be a little over the edge. Yeah. Yeah. I would say, yeah, that's all I got to say on that one.
Okay. So, like you said, some of this is like, duh. Okay, so I love humor and you don't want drama. Okay, join the rest of the 99% of the world.
Yeah,
great.
But here's an important thing as a guy. You don't want to be reactive. You don't want to hear these things and go, oh my gosh, throw your hands up in the air. Are you kidding me? Do you have to say that? Okay, that's you being reactive. Your job isn't to react and respond as a man. Your job is to lead. Your job is to be solid and grounded. Your job is to have that voice. And you go, great, you don't want drama. Great, you love to laugh. I do too. You just proceed forward and rather than getting into this whole back and forth. That's our job, agree where you can. And then, it's like, I'm fluent in sarcasm. Probably not my kind of woman. And just, again, lead forward and move past it.
Okay, so I think you just didn't you just describe me? I think that you just said that I was reactive.
Yeah, on the inside. I'm just kidding. The question is though, do you think that reactive element doesn't come through a little bit when you're on a date? It does.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right. Next one, number 4. I'm an open book. Translation: I have zero boundaries. Within 15 minutes of meeting you, you'll know about my yeast infection, my mother's trauma, and my ex-husband's credit score.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you see it that way. Yeah. I love how you've written these really good narrative things.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm giving you my definition. So I see these whenever I'm looking, and this is okay. For everybody listening, this is just a little insight in Jude's brain. This is the definition that's going, okay.
Okay, so
happening. But that's why we have you here too, is to give the real definition around this.
Okay, so my translation of that, when she says I'm an open book, is I think I heard the translation is I'm a good person. I don't have anything to hide. I think that's what she's really saying. However, my reaction to that statement, because I do have a reaction to that one, is like bullshit. You're an open book. I am certain that there are plenty of things that you're actually not open about at all. I think you would like to see yourself as an open book, and I'm not entirely sure that's true.
Yeah.
I aspire to be an open book. That's me, Dallas, being a little reactive. But I've rarely seen a woman say I'm an open book and then really be an open book. There are some, but there are plenty that I've seen that are not.
Okay, interesting. So you're saying that could go either way. Like my definition of you're going to get verbal throw up on you as soon as you show up, or it could be that she would like to be that way, but she's not, and she's actually like has walls built up, and probably
or she thinks she's an open book, but the truth is she hasn't really dug that deep, and a lot of stuff hasn't been revealed to her yet. But this is total projection. This is I hope all the men listening, all the dads listening know this is a fun episode. This is like a stocking stuffer episode that we're doing.
There you go.
Not meant to be super deep and serious. This is meant to just air. We do this in the office hours. Sometimes we just have to get it out and air out some of this stuff. I hope everybody keeps that in mind.
And if those of you who are listening haven't figured out, a lot of this is therapy for Jude, right? Like just understand, like, that's, Dallas has already accepted that. You guys got to accept that too. So, if you want to log off right now, then fine, go ahead. Please don't. Number 5, good vibes only.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Here's my definition of that. I'm in deep denial about reality. If you have a bad day, lose your job, or express any human emotion other than toxic positivity, I'll ghost you.
There you go. Yeah, you said the magic word, toxic positivity. Yeah, good vibes only. Like, so you don't want to, you never feel sad or other vibes, and then I'm not allowed to feel other ones. I think what they mean by good vibes only, I think what they mean is I don't want drama. I don't want somebody pulling on me. I don't want somebody like weighing me down. I think that's what they mean when they say good vibes only. But I also think, like you said, it's a little bit of toxic positivity. It's an oversimplification of it, like just good vibes. It's like, that's not real life. It's a bit of a Hallmark line, like it's a bit of a greeting card line that it's just like, to me, it's superficial. That's the word I'm searching for. To me, it just seems superficial to say something.
Yeah, and so one of the things that troubles me with all of these is they all feel superficial. They all in one sense or another feel superficial, and why I'm making fun of them so much is because you see them so often, and it's like, well, if you're on a dating app and you're looking in my presupposition is that you want to have a relationship. Not everybody does on a dating app, so we need to be clear about that. But I think the majority of people, women especially, maybe men, that's less so the truth, want to have a relationship. So if you are looking for a relationship, but you've got these 20 things, it's so superficial. Like, go a little bit, like not that much deeper. It doesn't have to be that I'm the open book and like all of that on your profile, but go a little bit deeper than good vibes only. Yeah.
So of course. So for me, they're a little bit generic, and and I think that's what you mean by go deeper means not be generic. But here's the thing we have to understand, that dating apps are essentially just one pillar. I don't know. It's not called a pillar. It's one subsection of social media in general.
True.
When you're, they're on your phone. Social media is on your phone. For these are side by side. These are the sorts of phrases that are all over social media. And on social media, what are we doing? We're creating an avatar. And we're saying, "Oh, I'm good vibes only." I don't like drama. I've had enough with drama. It's like, "Oh, I'm fluent in sarcasm," like all the other memes out there. Like. We're constructing through generic labels of social media a sort of identity. And then when I go over to my dating app on my phone, I'm not suddenly going to like cast all that off and really write an authentic profile. I mean, it's pretty normal and expected to see that the person's going to behave kind of like they do in the rest of their socializing on their phone, which is generic labels. There'll be a little bit of something that's hopefully new, and original, and not just copy and paste, but the truth is most people, we're outsourcing it to what's the parlance of our times? What are the words that everybody's using? And again, I want to see it as like, cut him some slack. Yeah.
Can that so cut him some slack, but okay, I agree with that. But can that in and of itself tell you a little something about the person, right? Like
it can tell you about the behavior, but not about the person. So
okay, fair.
So what it tells me is they're not putting a whole ton of effort into their dating profile, because behaviorally that's kind of what they did. They just sort of copied and pasted some stuff that matches them more or less. They put it in there, and then they're waiting for guys. Then they're fielding messages. Honestly, like as a woman, why would you bother to really dig deeper? Because how many guys that are swiping right most of the time and sending short, crappy, low quality messages, how many of the guys really care, that you say something more valuable? So as a woman, I'm just, why would you put in more effort? And we just have to understand it's a profile, it's a brief snapshot. To be honest, a lot of us are looking at the photos, like 80%.
So, Dallas, are you saying that we actually have to read the profiles?
No, you don't.
Okay.
I would say glance the profile, skim the profile, get somebody to write you an AI bot, to like summarize these profiles, but the thing is, the profile is not really a profile. It's a brief billboard for the most part. You're looking for any huge red flags. You're looking, does this woman fall in the ballpark that I'm looking for? But it's when you go on the first date, that's when you have the vibe check. That's because you don't remember the profile most of the time after you meet the woman, because they're generic. And the reason they're generic is because really dating apps are just an extension of the rest of social media. So we have to just not take it too personally and just, look for the red flags that really don't work for you, but really hold it loosely. That's actually the term I really like to use a lot, is hold it loosely. Don't get a grip on this too tight.
Yeah. It's literally online window shopping, right?
Yep.
Like for a date. Is all it comes down to. Okay. That completes the personality phrase section.
All right.
We are moving on to the activity phrases section. Number 6, work hard, play hard. My translation: I'm a functioning alcoholic with a corporate job. I answer emails at midnight and do shots of tequila at 12:05. Break it down for me.
Oh, you missed the doing lines of cocaine in hotel bathrooms. Be sure to throw that one in there. Yeah, we're not talking the bathroom at your room. We're talking the bathroom at the lobby.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So work hard, play hard. For me, I look at it as somebody who has FOMO on life. Fear of missing out, and it's like always got to be doing something. I'm going to tack on to this lines that I've heard. Is I'm looking for a guy that can keep up with me.
Yeah, right.
I feel that kind of goes hand in hand with like, well, maybe not quite so much, but there's a little bit of crossover where it's work hard, play hard. For me, it's a very driving masculine like force, and it's sort of like, okay, so you're already doing all this. You're playing hard, you're working hard, you're doing all this, and it's like, I think you're already leading it, and I'm looking for somebody that wants an invitation to do something fun. And I feel like I'm always going to be kind of like almost arm wrestling you for the reins, or for the wheel of the car, and to, where are we going? For me, the personal turnoff for me is it feels kind of masculine, and that's not really what I'm looking for personally.
Yeah, me as well. But the other thing I'll add to that is, it could be, and I've found that it's somebody that is really avoiding the deep conversations or the deep experiences of life that come by sitting still or being in nature on just maybe something that's a hike or a picnic or something that's not intense.
Yeah.
Right.
One of those people that might fail the "can you look at yourself for 10 seconds in the mirror without looking away" tests. Yeah.
Right.
Could be. And again, guys, we're being playful. We're projecting. There are plenty of healthy women that like to,
Of course.
play hard and all that. I think also the undertone of that it's like work hard, play hard. That work hard also is like, I'm looking for a man who probably makes more than I do and the income stream. I have a certain lifestyle. I have a certain amount of travel that I do. Again, Del,
Right.
so I'm just projecting onto this, but that vibe kind of comes through for me a little bit.
Exactly. Okay. All right. This is probably one of my most all-time annoying ones.
Yeah.
Probably number one annoying one.
Yeah.
Looking for my partner in crime.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Translation.
Yeah.
Wait, you got to hear my translation first.
Of course.
I'm not looking to rob a bank. I'm looking for someone to do the most mundane, basic activities with, like going to Target and buying throw pillows.
Okay.
What does that signal about her lifestyle?
What does that say? Partner in crime. For me, I actually like that line.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I
This
do.
is interesting.
For me, that's actually a bit of a turn on when a woman says that, because for me, that sounds like an invitation to play with her. That feels like an invitation to, let's take normal life and let's make it more adventurous and fun.
Interesting.
And
The other one that goes with this is looking for my ride or die. These two just make me crazy.
yeah, the ride or die, again, it's more driving, it's more intense, and it feels more masculine. I'm looking for my partner in crime feels like I want to be doing something with someone side by side, and almost like I would love for you to come up with some devilish ideas of fun things to do spontaneously, and I can be your sidekick with you while you're doing them. That's what my partner in crime says to me.
Okay.
Again, my personal interpretation, but the thing I like about it is we're getting into trouble together. We're being creative and coming up with stuff to do, out of the normal, side of life. And I think it maybe also speaks to my partner in crime. It's also somebody who's waiting for somebody to show up that really is inviting them on an adventure.
Okay.
The other one's ride or die. It's like I'm already charging hard, and I want somebody else that's going to charge and have my back no matter what. And what was the other one that we just did? Live hard, die. Oh no, not live hard, die hard. That's the Bruce Willis holiday season movies. No, it's the work hard, play hard. Again,
Right.
They seem hard charging, and it's like almost throwing down a challenge for me to keep up as a man. Looking for my partner in crime, for me, feels like an invitation into the two of us getting into some trouble together, like fun,
Okay.
kind of trouble.
Interesting.
My personal interpretation of it.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting because it's opposite of what opposite of what I see. So
like we said, these are generic terms, that person might, some people might see them as the same as ride or die, my partner in crime, they could see them as the same. Yeah. Hold all of these very loosely, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Do not get overly attached to them. Use any of them you want in your messages reaching out to her. But when you do, and here's the little tidbit, is don't use generic language in bringing it out. Take a generic term like, ride or die and turn it into a concrete illustration.
Ooh,
it's like, does that mean... And because that's what makes it not generic. All of these statements, we have no idea what the woman means. You and I are just shooting from the hip, like coming up with different ideas because they haven't given us a concrete picture, an illustration of what they mean. If when they said ride or die, they said, when we're coming back, from Vegas and that tire, we blow a tire on the side of the road, and AAA won't going to be there for 8 hours. Do we make the 2-hour walk through the desert or do we do this? It's, I'm coming up with some lame sort of picture, but it's concrete. That's what if these women wrote something like that, which again is not generic, it takes more effort, that would give us more information of what they mean by a ride or die, which would completely change our response to it, our reaction to it. So, gentlemen, when you hear these phrases, if you see one of them that is useful, one of them that catches your mind, your eye, something that you want to respond to, or you're just wondering, how do I start a conversation? These generic phrases are there. Take one of these, turn it into what is for you a concrete illustration, make it playful, and throw that out in a message that will seriously increase the amount of responses that you get.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Is you can use these generic these generic phrases as an opportunity to to craft a unique message that they don't get. Now that requires us actually reading the profile,
Right?
and
But
not
to your
copying
point,
and pasting our normal our normal message to like 100 women in order to get one response. But
you can have your ride or die message. You can have your ride or die message that you copy and paste to all
There
the
you
women's
go. That's
profiles
what we
that use
should
it.
Here, what we got to do next, Dallas, for you and for the guys in your group is like to put some stock messages together that are these, and then they can just have them and copy and paste. Actually, we should just sell those like for $1. Like let's do a fundraiser. We'll sell these for $1 for anybody that wants an opening message. So all right. Yeah, that's a side business. We'll look for that in the future, guys. All right, next one, number 8. Tacos and margs. The translation: I have no original thoughts. I'm basic. My personality is entirely defined by food trends from 2016. Does she mean all right, so this means she's easygoing, or does it just mean that she's boring?
Okay, so I see it as, guys, I'm not high maintenance.
Okay,
which means I think boring. Right?
Boring.
I mean, well, I think what she's saying is, guys, you don't have to. You don't have to wine and dine me. You don't have to impress me. It's a way of saying I'm down to earth. I think that's what she's saying. And
okay,
the creative message that comes to mind would be like, does that include food trucks down on Colfax?
Yeah, on Colfax. Yeah, right.
And for those listening that are not in the Denver area, Colfax is kind of like the street seedy. That it's seedy. Yeah, there's it's all kinds of action. Lots of good Mexican food trucks to be found there. Not selling margaritas, but if you were to, but that's like taking it one step further, and it's playfully calling her out on it. That would be a good way to respond to that, like right out of the gate.
Okay, and then you know if she's easygoing or not. If she's going to meet you on Colfax for a food truck, she's pretty damn easygoing. Yeah, maybe too easygoing.
Exactly. And and another way you could take this, guys. I just I want to, because I feel like this is the useful part of it, is how do you message off of this? You can be like you have so which way do you do your margaritas? With or without jalapenos? And you throw it, and you throw in, again, by saying jalapeno in the margarita, it's throwing out something concrete. She probably doesn't get that very often. And you get an idea of her style, and you're saying something interesting that is, it's like she's almost in the moment of having it with you, and it'd be very easy to invite her out for that later.
Right.
But it's something concrete that she will reflect on her taste buds before she answers it. And that's exactly what you want her doing. You don't want her up in her head reflecting like, oh, tacos and margs or whatever. You want her like going into her body and feeling and going like, I tried the jalapenos once, not for me, or jalapenos all day long, but no more than 3 or something. These are the sorts of things where you step into a real, you're taking her out of her head, out of her generic language, and putting her into an experience right there in the first message.
Well, and if it comes back with something equally as generic as the first one, there you go. It's boring. It's not easygoing, right?
Right. It is. However, you have to keep in mind this woman is still on her phone. She's on a mobile device mixed in with a bunch of other social media, and a lot of guys, probably Messenger, are on the dating app. You can't take a lack of attention and thought put into messages on a dating app as necessarily a red flag. The fact that she messaged you back, honestly, is an invitation for you to continue to message her and/or invite her out. What I found in my experience on dating apps is when I send a message, the women fall into 2 categories. They responded or they didn't. The ones that didn't, unless I'm really into them, I'm not going to message again, which is like, I'd say like 98%. I'm just like, whatever. There are occasional women that I am going to send another message on because I really want to get a response. And that has worked half the time. The group of women that do respond to me, they're basically like, hey, buddy, the door is open here. And if they want to be playful through chatting, I will be playful with them through chatting. If they're kind of not all that responsive, and they're just being polite or one-word answers, I just take that as an invitation to invite them to real life, because they just might not want to spend the time on the phone. And if I invite them out and they don't respond, whatever, they're back in the bucket of women that didn't respond. Or they'll just say, yeah, sure. Either way, none of this matters until I meet them in person. None of it matters. All of this profile stuff, all of this interpretation goes out the window until we meet. Unless, of course, you have been taking notes and listened to everything that Jude says, and you've compiled an FBI profile on the woman's psyche, and you're there going and understanding that she is definitely a nutcase,
So I shouldn't be doing that and then running it through AI and trying to get a complete analysis of her psychological profile before responding.
Not unless we find a way that the men want to buy it. Yeah.
All right. Number 9. This is probably equally up there with my annoying ones of ride or die or partner in crime. Mm-hmm. I love to travel or wanderlust. Okay. My translation, this is a little extreme. It's an extreme translation. It's not. It's my first translation is duh. Like, who doesn't like to travel, right? Okay. Yeah. We all like to travel. Okay. Yeah. But some of the extreme ones are, I expect you to pay for my vacation to Italy. I have a passport, but only $400 in my savings account. Good luck.
Yeah. I have to say there is that does kind of like, that does kind of signal a little bit. I'm a bit of a money thing. I'm looking for a guy that not only can pay to travel around, but is also, has extra money, or I would really enjoy it if a guy showed up and took me to Italy. I think there's a decent chance that is an undertone in that. I agree with you. Big duh. Who does not like to travel? Who does not like to go to beautiful places? Yeah. And I'm going to bounce this back over to social media. So much of social media is sharing and showing people the beautiful trips and vacations that we go on. I love to travel is just a generic copy and paste from the rest of social media world into the dating profile. It's a natural extension. And again, what you can do as a man is you can lever off that. It's like, so are we talking Iceland or just south of the border here? Again,
you mean south of the border, like Pueblo?
South of the border, yeah, south of the border, Pueblo, yeah. I think it's walking across the bridge, or what, whatever. Yeah. I think, but again, what you can do is take a generic statement like that, turn it into something concrete and playful. You're making it easy for her to respond by giving her 2 options. Is it A or B? Very, very easy for a woman to respond. And what you want is for that woman to respond. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I keep taking it back to a practical level here, but it's
no. Well, that's what you're here for, because I'm not. But I do want to make one serious observation about the travel, just the travel mindset. It is oftentimes I have found somebody who is participating in escapism and not the mundane things of life which are necessary to not only get through life, but have a really meaningful relationship long term. And it's always planning the next trip. Where are we going? What's the weekend vacation? Are we skiing? Like all of that. And I see that quite a bit now in the world in general, but with women in particular. And we're not going to dive into background behind it, but I think that this lends into potentially that too. Again, look, we're just putting it out there, but it's something maybe if there's more in the profile or when you're having conversations to be aware of is the escapism part of it, like we talked about before. Very true. Very true. I think there is definitely a good portion of women and people that they live for that. Yeah. Travel is also very much associated with status. So a lot of women want to travel to show that they have a certain status. This comes back to what you're showing on social media, the stories you're able to tell your friends, your coworkers, your family, where are you going next? When people ask me, it's like, well, where are you off to? Do you have any, trips planned, out of the country and stuff? It always feels like it's sort of this social thing. And I found that there is a definite women that say that up front and that are always planning a 7 to 10 day vacation, which in my mind is incredibly expensive. The amount of time you get for the amount of money that you're spending is incredibly expensive. And I've lived 5 years of my life outside the United States. I lived 3 years in France and I lived 2 years in Taiwan. And for me, that's travel.
because I'm living for an extended amount of time. I'm getting much better bang for my buck when I'm abroad.
Right.
And what I found is that I have a completely different sense of world travel and foreign cultures than people who quote unquote love to travel, because they've never stayed in a country for more than 2 weeks most of the time. And they have a different sense of the money. They have a different sense of the culture. They usually aren't picking up much of the language. And for me, I've actually found that the people that quote unquote love to travel, I a lot of times don't really connect with them because I have a very different relationship with being abroad than they do.
Yeah, well, it's escapism. You're not into escapism. That's what it is. Okay. All right. Now we're hitting the expectation phrases.
Oh,
These are the ones about what they want from us.
We're
right?
digging deep into the stalking now. All right.
Yeah. We're digging now and maybe hitting some coal, right? Mm-hmm. First one is just ask. Oh yeah, exactly. That's my reaction too. It means I'm lazy. I want you to do 100% of the work in this conversation. I expect to be entertained while I contribute absolutely nothing.
I got to say, I completely agree with you on this one. That is okay. The epitome of laziness was just ask. She's turned herself into a complete and total blank canvas.
Yep.
Gentlemen, on your profile, you do not want to be a blank canvas and you do not want to be generic. You need to provide illustrations, concrete illustrations. You can say, I'm looking for my ride or die, and this is what it looks like for me. Give concrete illustrations that are engaging and fun. Somebody that says, just ask whatever you want to know. Just ask. It's like, and I have found that when I just ask, they are the ones that provide the shortest possible answers.
Yeah.
Which again, to your point, is showing very little effort, a lot of laziness on their end. And again, to echo what I said, I just skip right to, do you want to grab a drink on Friday? And I'll meet you in person. And I have been so surprised so many times that when I meet a woman in person, she's nothing like her profile. She's nothing like the way that she messaged on the dating apps. Guys, you have to be open-minded. Don't get your panties in a wad about how she messages or what's on the profile. You don't know until you meet her in person.
Yeah. So we're in agreement on this one. I'll actually even take it a step further, which is just asks means that I've got so much baggage that I plan on never sharing with you. And if it's basically lying through omission, because I'm never going to tell you about my past. And if you do ask, I'm going to skirt the question. So this was a huge red flag for me with just ask.
Dude, I think this is the episode that comes out right before Christmas, right? Okay. So there's lots of holiday cheer clearly coming through this. What I'm going to make a request here, it'll be your holiday gift to me, is that the episode after this, we can make it a New Year's resolution episode that has to do something with Jude, taking a positive spin on dating profiles and imagining where women are coming from.
Okay, we can work on that exercise. Maybe it'll be a real-time exercise with Dallas and Jude doing a coaching session for Jude. And I apologize to all the dating apps out there. After listening to this episode, most of them are going to get deleted by the guys listening, or they're at least not going to go and download those for the holiday season. So we are not sponsored by Match or Hinge or OkCupid today, because they probably hate us after this episode.
And just to be clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with venting this stuff out. Jude and I, me and you, we are venting. We're letting this out. There's a healthy side to venting and laughing about it. The question is, are you laughing and relieving yourself, or are you laughing and getting embittered about it? If you're releasing it, that's great. But I have plenty of clients that carry inside of them a certain bitterness, and they're like, well, but I don't say this on the date. I am like, yeah, but I can feel it, and I'm a whole lot less sensitive than a woman is.
All over your face.
So when you're laughing about this stuff, be sure it's in a spirit of releasing it and relieving it. Do not let it bottle up inside. That shit is toxic.
Yes, for sure. As always, we say you got to do your work first so that you can show up in the right way. So, okay, we did a whole episode on this one, but must love dogs.
All right, Jude, what does it mean?
The dog sleeps in the bed. You sleep on the floor. If the dog growls at you, you're out of here, buddy.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to add to that. You will always walk away with dog hair on your clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Was it, must love dogs? Is that what they said? Or
must love dogs. Yes.
Must love dogs. Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually going to call respect on this one. Because the woman is saying, hey, look, I have a dog. I love my dog. If you have a problem with that and you think I'm going to change, take a hike, buddy. I'm just going to say respect to that one. You know, you can see the earlier episode where we talked about the
dumb one. Who doesn't like? So there's might be people that don't prefer dogs or don't have a dog, but like, who doesn't like dogs? Like dogs are either neutral or you love them, right? It's not like cats. Like cats, I can understand. That cats should be a disclaimer for most women, right? Like have lots of cats. Or love cats, must love cats. That could be a red flag, right? Like, but dogs, come on, like dogs they're so stupid and goofy, and like you're either neutral or you love them. Like that's a duh thing for me.
It is. I would also say, at least here in Colorado, it's an identity thing. You know,
True.
People, you know, so for a lot of people, the dogs are their kids, you know, they're their fur babies. It goes beyond just having a dog. It's, I bring my dog with me when, you know, I love to go to places where I can take the dog to the patio. You know, I always want to bring my dog with me in the car. So there's always going to be 3 of us whenever we go somewhere. When I say I want to go on a hike, of course, my dog's coming with us. There's, you know, and you're not alone when that dog is there. You know, like you can't slip out into the woods and mess around behind a tree when there's a dog right there yanking on the leash. It's not the same thing. It's really not. I mean, so I think there's a certain identity that you can expect when, you know, saying must love dogs. They're saying, you know, I have a modern dog owner lifestyle, which is dogs are part of my activities. They're part of what I do. I choose activities in which I can include my dog with what I'm doing. And also expect me to have to go home early to take care of my dog. Don't expect these dates to go too late.
And I'm going to take it one step further, as always, which is oftentimes they substitute a real relationship with a relationship with their dogs. And so there is something to be, especially here in Colorado, is just beware.
She might already be in a significant relationship.
In a committed relationship with her dog. So you're going to be a part-time, which leads me to the next one, which is my kids are my world. Okay. Right. Your kids my kids are a priority. Okay. Yeah. This translates to you will never be a priority. You will be dating on alternating Tuesdays between 6 and 7:30, provided the babysitter doesn't cancel. Okay. Oh, wow. How should we read this one?
Kids in my world. It's I am a mom, and you better believe it. And don't expect me to act like I'm a woman that doesn't have kids. That's how I read it. That for me is a wake up call to the guys out there that don't have kids, because there are plenty of guys out there that are like, why aren't you texting me back more quickly? Why aren't you showing up? Why aren't you more available? It's like, buddy, I've got kids and they come first. There are plenty of guys out there that don't have kids that don't get that. This is a public service message that the woman is putting out there to the guys that don't get it. If you get it, just safely like step right over that one. Or you could say your kids are, come first in life. Absolutely. What percentage of the time do you have them? That is a totally logistical question.
That shit up front. So guys, if you're listening, this is your first episode. We did do a whole episode on this and talking about this and dating. Actually, it was last week, and in how to make invitations. The only thing I'll say is oftentimes this means I have no clue how I'm going to be dating with kids. Like they have not figured that out. So you don't want to. And look, we don't want, as dads, we have limited time too. And it's divorced dads, right? So you want to clarify that shit pretty upfront and try to get to the base of it before you monkey around with too many wasted time. You you waste a lot of time if you are if you're doing it right, right? If you're planning a date, getting it set, executing it, carving out that time, and then it gets canceled a half hour before or the morning. That could have been, all that time could have been used to better things. So you do want to kind of weed that out early. And that's a big thing. And we talked about this with single moms, is the kids and how they're structuring their lives. And so go back. We actually had 2 episodes. We did the one last week and then one earlier, about, 7 or 8 weeks ago, also about how to mitigate that. But let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right. That concludes the expectation phrases. I have a lot more, but I thought we were going to be, we're as usual. These are the subtle ones. Okay. So number 1, not looking for a hookup.
Duh.
Translation: I might hook up with you, but I don't want to feel like a cheap hooker hooking up with you. Also, please don't send me a picture of your junk, which should just be a given. But is this a filter or what are we dealing with here?
Jude, I love your holiday cheer. This is so great. I love this topic. Okay. Not looking for a hookup. Yeah, I think she's probably saying I've made my mistakes in the past, and unless you're really cute, I don't plan to make the mistake again. I would say that's out there. I would say kind of like the mom thing. It's a public service announcement going
or
like,
she's in the holiday spirit.
Yeah, I'm not just looking for, I'm if you're looking for something casual, like if that's all you're looking for, move along. But guys that are looking for something casual don't care about that message. It's a dumb thing for a woman to put on a profile because it's not filtering out any guys. It's just not.
Zero.
The guys are going to move forward anyway. Yeah, I think I'm not looking for something casual. It's like, it's such an empty statement.
It's just stupid. I think it's just a stupid phrase. It should never be put anywhere because it accomplishes zero. Yeah. Like you said, guys are not going to, like, I see that and I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I disregard it. It gets completely disregarded and it like serves no function. All the rest of them can serve like at least an ounce of function. This one serves absolutely zero function.
Yeah. And let's say I wouldn't even play off this line, but if I was trying to, I would say something like, I've looked for the least serious coffee shop in all of Denver, and this is what I came up with. Or was I no, I've looked for the least casual coffee shop in all of Denver, and this is the one I came up with. To play off of it, because I know you're looking for something. I know you're not looking for something casual. This is the least casual coffee shop I could find. There, something along those lines.
You just show up in your tuxedo to coffee.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah,
I'm serious.
Like, yeah, I've set that. I punched into AI. What is appropriate attire for a not casual coffee, and this is what it gave me. And again, here we're coming up with concrete items that you can put in. Guys always need material for these conversations, so stuff like that you can just. It's playful. Perfect. It's playing off of what she says. Yeah, but it's a dumb thing to put in a profile. Jeez.
This next one: swipe left if you are under 6 foot.
Gosh, did they really say that? I haven't seen that one.
Well, so swipe left if you're under, like, you can insert under 6 foot. You're not actually your height. Like, it's the whole height thing, right? And so for me, it means I'm shallow and will likely ask how much money you make within the first 5 minutes or what your job is. And I have a tape measure in my purse for whatever part she wants to measure, your entire body or anything else, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Your fingers. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, swipe left. Basically, I think a woman that is saying that way, she is saying, I'm kind of superficial, as in, because like, it'll be a woman that's 5'4" that says that. And it's like, really? Like,
right.
And when I talk with them behind the scenes, and they will, you have a drink or two with them, they will start telling you the truth. And you start seeing that, no, a lot of these stereotypes are actually rather true. The women actually do very much, they want a man that makes this kind of money and stuff. They're just not willing to admit it out loud. They're definitely not willing to put on the profile. I'm not saying it's courageous that a woman puts this on a profile, but I would say take it at face value. She's putting a filter out there, and
Yeah.
and there's it's probably not the only filter. Yeah, that
it's not the only filter. And considering that only 4% of the population is over 6 foot, it's a very narrow, it's a very, very narrow filter to have. And that narrow filter for height is going to be a filter of X dollar amount for your income, and in a basic 3 categories of car you drive and everything else. So I think the swipe left, if you are ... I use the 6 foot one, is kind of a red flag.
Yeah. I'm curious to what you think when somebody brings in something political, like swipe left if you voted for Trump, or swipe left if you believe in global warming, or whatever. Like, they'll put stuff like that in there. What do you think about those statements?
Yeah, I think they're telling you exactly what they think and who they are. I think that's pretty defined and clear. And actually, I appreciate that. They're narrowing. They are narrowing their, and I appreciate that in the sense of they're so narrow-minded. I know that I don't want to talk to them. Not that necessarily like I care what their beliefs are one way or another. I actually enjoy having conversations like that with somebody who can actually show up in an appropriate way and have conversations like that, and not like we're experiencing in our world now, not have any discourse. Discourse is what's gotten us to the point we're at in Western civilization, in all the things that we enjoy. Not having discourse is what brings us back from that, or makes us take steps back from that. So I do appreciate when they say that, because it tells me their narrow-mindedness. So I'm like, well, this is not somebody.
Right. Yeah. And that's an orientation within yourself and compatibility or not. But when she says swipe left if you're not 6 feet, swipe left that's her being rather picky and choosy, about the population. And that does feel a little self-absorbed, a little self-serving. And those for me are traits of toxic femininity. Is a woman that is self-absorbed, a woman that is taking care of her own self before others, and just kind of leaving everybody else in the cold, trying to live up to what she wants.
Yep, I'd agree. Yeah. So, interesting. That was not one that would have been on my list for us to agree 100% on, but we are there. Okay. Yeah. So the next one, we've got 3 more to knock out here. This is, I'm shy at first. I see this one all the time.
Yeah.
Or introvert, right? I'm an introvert, or I'm shy at first. Means I'm going to sit there in silence and make you carry the entire conversation until I decide you aren't a serial killer.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So I think they're saying don't expect me to be the life of the party when I show up. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to set kind of lower expectations. Don't expect me to get sexual with you right away. Don't expect me to open up. They're like, sorry. I think they're trying to set the expectations. Wow, hang on.
Yeah. So this for me is somebody that is an anxious avoidant that watches too much true crime, right? They're worried that they're not going to share, they're not going to share their phone number, their last name, their middle name, what area of town they live in, until they've vetted you, and maybe they have a family member that works for the CIA or FBI. And then, only then, will you be able to start maybe getting inroads into vulnerability isn't a year or 2 down the line on this one. Yeah. You're going to have to get through the whole vetting process first.
Yeah, I know you're being sarcastic into hyperbole for the sake of playfulness. This is a demonstration of it, guys, how to be sarcastic in a fun way that's not bad. Yeah, I little bits of truth in there. I really think probably she's not all that confident. There's probably a certain lack of confidence that's going on. But I can tell you there's plenty of women that I've met that there's plenty of chemistry, and they actually open up quite fast, and they talk lots and everything that I've met, I actually kind of like this when I see it, because
you do? Okay.
I do, but that's a personal thing. Is
Yeah.
I'm told very regularly from women that, oh, it's so easy to talk with you, Dallas. Like, it's so easy to open up. And a woman that's shy, realize that a lot of guys on dates, the number one complaint from women is guys that talk and don't listen. They're just talking at them. They're going. And for a person that's shy, they're never really going to assert themselves, but silently inside of themselves, they want to be heard. They want a connection. They want to be invited. And when you're a guy that shows up and you're a good listener, and suddenly they feel very comfortable, and they kind of, they blossom, the little rosebud, opens up, and they feel wonderful. And they haven't been able to do that with a lot of other guys. You can be in for some really nice surprises.
Yeah. And just to the other thing I'll say is, when you show up, and to dispel like what I was saying, you can tell pretty quickly if it's somebody who's shy, or somebody who is like anxious, avoidant, or maybe jaded even, and is worried about their safety, even though you're at a coffee shop with 100 people there in the middle of downtown Denver, right? Like, so you can figure that out pretty quickly, and then, and then adjust accordingly. Like you said, have a conversation that brings them in and makes them feel comfortable and secure, and be able to do that. So you're able to know that right away. Okay. These last two are just classic, great ones. The first is looking for my person, right? I'm just looking for my person. I've watched too much Grey's Anatomy, and I have unrealistic expectations that you'll complete my soul and fix my life, right? Give me a happy ending on this one, Dallas.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's one word that comes to mind when I hear looking for my person, and the word is woke. I'm like, why can't you say man or woman? Why can't you say husband or wife? Why can't you say boyfriend or girlfriend? Why does it have to be human? And yes, I am venting a little bit right here. Why does it have to be my person, my human, my partner? It's like, why do we have to remove the male and female components of the identities? That for me is actually a huge turnoff when I hear it. I'm looking for my person, and I'm like, well, that's too bad, because I'm looking for a woman, and I'm looking for her to look for a man, and I'm not. It's like, yes, I'm a person, but in this context, we are on a dating app. And if you're just looking for a person, that for me is way too generic. And I'm not, no, really, I have found that, and if that language it usually does, patterns, are there, and they persist. And when I speak with a woman in person or on the phone or whatever, and we're talking more, and I find that they tend to say person or human more, rather than man or woman, I'm like, okay, we're looking for a different kind of dynamic here. And for me, again, it's the word woke that for me personally is a turnoff, because I want like, oh wow, that doesn't work for me.
It only took me 1 hour to finally get you.
Oh, you finally found a nerve. Yeah.
Well, mission accomplished. I feel like we should end it there, except this last one is just the tip of the iceberg one. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Oh. That sounds like a catchline from the 80s.
That translate is, my worst involves keying your car and screaming at the top of my lungs at you in the Applebee's. My best is honestly not that great either, right?
Yeah. Well, I've never heard that one, but it sounds like it sounds like, on the crazy hot matrix, she's pretty high on the crazy access, but I'm not sure about the hotness. It could be, but definitely the crazy is going to outweigh the hotness, I think.
Right. I think Marilyn Monroe ruined a generation. Wasn't that one of her phrases?
Oh, was that?
I think so.
So that would be, so now that you've given me context, that's different. I mean, Marilyn Monroe is a woman that put effort into looking awesome. That's kind of a lost art.
She was an iconic, I would describe her as an iconic feminine symbol of an entire generation. That's how amazing I find Marilyn Monroe to have been, but true femininity of her time.
Yeah.
So, I
And
mean, maybe if we take it from that, it says something else.
Absolutely. And we've had so many episodes of Oprah since then telling us that we are beautiful no matter what we do, and you are, and all this. And it's like, that's not what she meant in that statement.
Right.
She meant at my best, meaning I am presenting myself in a beautiful way through effort, not just self-acceptance. Of course, there's a place for self-acceptance, but self-acceptance shouldn't be, and I'm just going to say this because you got me going, shouldn't be self-delusion. It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be yoga pants and a hoodie at the Chili's buffet, right?
Unless you look off the hook good in yoga pants and a hoodie.
Look off the hook to show up like that, and for me to be like, no, thank you.
I've only had one date like that, and I was like, okay, yeah, you can strut those yoga pants. Like, I was like, you're worth, like, it was a wine tasting something, and it was fairly casual, and she showed up in yoga pants, but I gotta say, like, first of all, it was like, she wore it well, and it wasn't just casual. She was styling a certain way, and I was like, okay, yeah, that works.
So basically we're saying if you look like Marilyn Monroe and this is in your profile, you're golden. Otherwise, we're gonna have to at least peel away the onion a little bit more. And that onion's gonna start with, do you show up in a hoodie or do you show up looking maybe not like Marilyn Monroe, but looking good? Okay, so
we're going to let Jude wrap it up that way, and I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to try to redeem myself here because I've gotten to the point of a lot of
Jude
real
wore
excitement
you down
here.
this entire episode.
You did, yeah. Maybe it's the holiday season, the eggnog.
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, maybe we're revealing a little of that. Like deep down, maybe we need to do a little coaching with Dallas to bring up some of this stuff that might be in the recesses there. I don't know.
Well, I didn't put on my profile, I'm an open book. I never put that on my profile. Okay, so here's the part that I would say about this. A woman that says that, like, what she said was something to you. Can you read it for us again one more time?
Yeah. It's, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Okay, gotcha. If you can't handle me at my worst. Okay, gentlemen, that is the feminine storm. That is her being crazy. That is her not being logical. We've had other episodes about this. She is in that statement saying, I'm going to be emotional. I'm going to be kind of crazy. I'm going to let my stuff out. If you can't handle that, please walk away. Guys, as a man in a masculine energy, in a masculine frame, you want to be able to invite that woman and step right up and go toe to toe with it and say, go ahead and let it out. Because I want to be the rock that lets you let that out, because I want the best that comes behind it. I want the best that's on the other side of it. That statement has some truth to it. It really, really does. And it is throwing down a challenge. Gentlemen, you want to develop enough rooted, grounded masculine energy inside of yourself that you can step right up to it and say, absolutely, I'm a man that can handle that. Let's see it.
Amen. Redeemed, Dallas. Redeemed. Well said. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this. This was just a fun stocking stuffer, as Dallas mentioned. And I want to, if you found some value, if you found some humor, I don't know if there's value in it, but if you found some humor, Dallas added value for sure. If you found some value that what Dallas said and some humor in what I said, let's put it that way, please give us a star rating, share far and wide on social media. Even better, give us a comment. Hey, share the one that makes you the most crazy in the comments. We'd love to hear that. And Dallas, how do guys that want help in translating these online profiles get a hold of you?
First of all, get on the mailing list. You can come to one of our live Q&A sessions that we're holding every month, where you can talk to both of us live on a Zoom call from anywhere in the world. That would be the best place. Also, check out blackboxdating.com. The men's coaching program is on there, as well as all my social media channels. I would love for you guys to be part of the community that I have there. Jude, same
and you
to
can
you.
Get these events. Yeah, you can get these events right on right into your calendar directly at thedivorcedadvocate.com under our events page. So there's a way, once you go to that event, you'll find the Divorce Dads Q&A. You'll be able to click on a link and then add it right to your calendar. Since it's an ongoing thing, it'll just show up on your calendar every single month. So jump on those. They're great calls. We have lots of fun like this, talking about stuff like this, but we also talk about serious stuff. But it's your free opportunity to tap into all of Dallas's wisdom, pearls of wisdom, and then go to his website and sign up for the rest of the stuff.
And if you're looking to burn a bridge with a woman, Jude is happy to give you all the messages you need to make sure that woman will never talk to you again.
I can do that. Amen. For sure. All right, Dallas, everybody listening, have a merry and blessed Christmas.
Yeah. Talk to you guys soon, and have a great week.
Be the hero of your own movie. If your life was a movie and it started now, forget about whatever financial disasters you've had, personal failures, relationship failures. What would the hero of your life's movie do right now?